It was a sweltering August weekend in 2024, and I'd booked an Airbnb in Thornfield, a quiet town nestled in the hills, for a getaway with my best friend Jess. I was 29, a nurse worn thin by 12-hour shifts, desperate for a break. From beeping monitors and antiseptic smells, the listing was a steal. A rambling Victorian house, all gables and stained glass, promising historic charm and starry nights. We pulled up at dusk, the air thick with cicadas, the house looming like it had secrets to keep. The host, a guy named Victor, texted us the lockbox code, said he lived out of town, and told us to respect the house's quirks. That first night, we found a hidden room behind a bookcase, and what was inside, along with what I dug up in town records, guest reviews, and my own shaking fear, turned our weekend into a nightmare I still see in the dark. We were giddy at first, dumping our bags in the parlor, a musty room with velvet curtains and a fireplace big enough to stand in. Jess, always the explorer, poked around while I made coffee in the kitchen, its linoleum peeling like old skin. She called me over, voice sharp, from the study, a cramped space lined with bookshelves, the air heavy with dust. "Check this out," she said, pointing to a bookcase that didn't sit flush with the wall. We tugged it, half joking about secret passages, and it swung open, hinges groaning, revealing a narrow door, wood warped and unmarked. My stomach twisted, but Jess laughed, said it was probably a wine cellar or storage. The door was locked, no keyhole, just a rusty latch that wouldn't budge. We pushed, but it held fast, and a cold draft seeped through the cracks, smelling of damp earth and something sour, like rotting fruit. We texted Victor, asked about the door. His reply was, "Quick old house, lots of quirks. That's just storage, sealed for safety. Enjoy your stay." Jess wanted to pry it open, but I said no, the draft already making my skin crawl. That night, we slept in the upstairs bedroom, a cavernous room with creaky floorboards and a canopy bed. Around 2 a.m., I woke to a sound, soft thumps, like footsteps, coming from below. Jess heard it too, her eyes wide in the moonlight. We crept downstairs, flashlights shaking, thinking it was an intruder or a raccoon. The study was empty, the bookcase shut, but the air was colder, and I swear I heard a whisper, low and garbled, from behind that door. We checked the house, locked every window, and went back to bed, but sleep didn't come, the thumps echoing. In my head, morning brought sunlight, but the house felt wrong, like it was watching us. We found the guest book on the dining table, a leather journal with entries dating back years. Most were standard. Loved the architecture, so peaceful, but a 2022 review was scratched out. Only don't open the door, readable. A 2020 entry said, heard noises behind bookcase, left early. Another from 2017 was in shaky pen. Something's in that room. It knows we're here. I checked the study again, saw scratches on the door's edge, like fingernails had scraped the wood. Jess, usually fearless, looked pale, said maybe we should leave, but I couldn't shake the need to know what was behind it. We drove to Thornfield's library, a sagging building with a single librarian who smelled of mothballs. I searched old newspapers, found a 1989 article, "Local man missing from Victorian home." Henry Tate, 42, lived in the house, same address as our Airbnb, vanished after neighbors reported odd noises at night. His sister Ellen said he'd been renovating, found a hidden space he wouldn't talk about. The police searched, found nothing, but noted a sealed room, inaccessible, assumed storage. A 1996 piece mentioned the house as a rental, but tenants left quickly, complaining of sounds like someone trapped. I dug into town records, found the house belonged to the Tate family until Ellen sold it in 2000 to a Victor Tate, our host, I guessed. A 1988 police report said Henry had called about someone in the walls, but no evidence was found. Case closed. Back at the house, the study felt colder, the bookcase heavier, like it resisted us. We found a crowbar in the garage, wedged it into the door's latch, and pried it open, the wood splintering. Inside was a room, no bigger than a closet, its walls bare plaster, floorboards rotted, the air was thick, the sour smell choking, and in the corner was a pile of clothes, old stained men's shirts and jeans next to a rusted lantern, still flickering faintly like it shouldn't be on. On the wall, scratched deep, were words, "I'm here." Jess gagged, backed out, but I saw something else, a photo, yellowed, tucked under the clothes, showing a man, gaunt, with Henry Tate's face, staring at the camera, a shadow behind him, shaped like a person but wrong, too long, too thin. We slammed the door shut, shoved the bookcase back, but the house wasn't quiet anymore. That night, the thumps were louder, coming from the walls, the ceiling, like something was circling us. We locked ourselves in the bedroom, phones recording, but the battery drained fast and our signal was gone. At 3 a.m., a new sound, scratching, slow from the hallway, then a voice barely audible saying, "Open it." I played the recording later, heard it clear under static. "Let me out." Jess was crying, said it wasn't human, and I felt it too. The air too heavy, like hands-on. My shoulders. We grabbed our bags, ready to bolt, but the front door wouldn't open. The lock stuck, the windows rattling like they were sealed. Dawn broke, and the door finally gave. We stumbled into the yard, air thick with rain coming on. I texted Victor, told him about the room, the noises, the photo. His reply was cold. You shouldn't have opened it. Leave now. We drove to a motel, but I checked the guest book we'd taken. New entry, not ours, in jagged handwriting. He sees you. I contacted. Airbnb gave the address, but the listing was gone. No record of Victor or the house. At the town hall, I found one last clue. A 1989 letter from Ellen Tate, filed with the property deed. Henry found a room. It wasn't empty. Don't rent it. She died in 2001. Heart attack. In the house. Same room we'd slept in. I dream of it now. Henry in that closet, scratching. The shadow behind him growing taller. I moved cities. Got a new job. But noises follow me. Thumps in walls. Whispers in dark. I found a photo in my bag, one I didn't take, of me and Jess in the study. The bookcase open, and behind us, a figure blurred. Its arms too long. Reaching. If you're in Thornfield, if you rent a Victorian with a bookcase that quirks, don't touch it. Don't open the door, because what's inside isn't gone, and it's waiting for you to let it out.